I just heard that he died. I heard it from Stuart the Endo because he was an ex-policeman,
right.
you know, so you found it on the grapevine there, you know.
For donkey's years.
Yeah, I saw him a few years back because he was in the Masters swimming, you know, and he was looking great then, you know.
That's right. I think that's when I saw him.
I could do in my prime. I could do about 5 strokes of butterfly.
Bloody hard. I tell you, it's a nightmare. It's really hard.
I could never do it. I always think if I tried to do butterfly.
Takes a lot out of it.
It is hard.
I'm not sure what used to go first was either my back, my legs, or my arms.
I think with me, it was everything went at once. After the first, oh God, no, I never could.
My heart.
Never work it out.
I mean, it's an impressive stroke to do. I mean, you know, like when we'd go on holiday with the grandkids, and you know that was the best place to learn to swim, in the swimming pool when you're in Spain or wherever it was, and I thought, oh, my chance to show off a bit now. I'll do a couple of strokes of butterfly and see if they want to copy Bamper, like, you know. But after like 3 strokes, and you make that special effort to do another 2, and then they say like, "Oh, do that again, Bamper." Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
I know when I was in the Masters, I did the 4x100 IN medley relay, and I had to do the butterfly. I did it okay, but I couldn't get out the pool for about 5 minutes. I was hanging on the side. Heart was about 200.
It's got to be the most energy concentrated way to swim, isn't it?
No way I could do it now.
No, we're not bloody Flipper and bloody Dolphin, are we? You know, I think we were meant.
But when I had some years back, I had some trouble with my back, right? And I can't remember who said now. Or the best exercise for you would be swimming. So I said, oh, okay, fair enough. So I can't remember where I went now, but I did start going swimming fairly regularly. And but my back was getting worse. And he said, I can't remember whether it's the same person. I normally saw, have you ever heard of Tim James? He was an orthopedic surgeon in Swansea. He's probably retired now, but I can say that he could be dead, I'm not sure. But I said, well, I'm doing the exercise and going swimming. And I said, but my back is flipping in half. And he said to me, what stroke are you doing? I said, I do the breaststroke. It's the worst stroke you can do for your back, he said.
Any hip.
So I said, well, why is that? And he said, what do you do with your legs? I said, well, you know, you go like that with, you know, you go like that with your arms, and your legs go like, no, he said, if you're going to do the breaststroke, kick the same as you would with doing the crawl. Because he said it's your legs doing that isn't natural for your back. I suppose if your back is okay, you're all right. But if you've got a problem with your back, doing the breaststroke and kicking out like that isn't great for your back. So he said, do the breaststroke, but just kick the same as you would doing the crawl.
That's a bit like tapping your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not natural to do breaststroke with your legs flapping up and down.
But it was better though. If you know, I could go longer doing that.
But then it's not breaststroke, then, is it really?
It's not breaststroke. No, it's just sort of
a breast crawl.
I can't get in here. Am I muted?
No.
All right, Sam.
Yes, all right. Well, we did say hello, but I think you were doing something.
No, I just like clocking the screen, but I didn't know I was talking about your breaststroke. I had a bad back, and the only thing I did was swimming. It must have been about late 80s, and so I used to. I was working in the waterside at the time, and so I'd make a point of an hour or two before I was due to go in. I'd go to the pool. my swimming is not good, not very good. I couldn't manage a super crawl other than a couple of strokes. So I used to swim. My stroke of choice was I remember my mum used to do it. It's like a sideways crawl.
Trudgeon.
Oh,
Trudgeon stroke, yeah.
What's it
But
called?
I used to do the breaststroke.
Trudgeon stroke, that's what it's called. Trudgeon stroke.
Yeah, in the pool. And funny you should say that because that was my thing for actually getting the weight off, and slowly giving some suppleness to my back. So I can't imagine me doing anything other than the breaststroke in as much as, arms are forward and the legs push. But he said that was a bad one to do, is it?
That's what he said to me. Yeah.
Oh, right.
He said, and if you, because you said your legs will last longer than your arms. So he said to keep going was to grab hold of the side of the pool. There's normally like a molding or something you can grab hold of, and then kick like hell for as long as you can in the water. And so I did that religiously for about 5 minutes.
Paul, remember
that
Keith Davis, the breaststroker? Yeah.
Hey, Keith.
Paul, Muttley, Keith Davis.
Yeah.
He's a breaststroker. He's swam all the way out the shipping line.
He was off his trolley. He was.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Remember, we didn't have leashes yet to swim in. And what's it called? A trudgeon.
Trudgeon stroke.
Trudgeon stroke. That was one of my favorites. It was so
basically a side stroke, and kind of
well, the
with
best
your legs. You're not doing a breaststroke kick. You're doing it on the side. So
you're doing it on the side. It's like you're kicking flips
the knees.
Yeah, but or then again, the backstroke as well is great because you can see when the waves are coming when you're doing the backstroke. But, a backstroke like that, nice and easy, not one of these wishy-washy up and downy ones. Cool,
Oh, that's right. I remember doing that one. Yeah,
just going back.
Okay, until the salt water goes up your nose.
Yeah. But you can see when the waves are coming, so you're prepared for it. But when you're on your side, you got to look round, and then you stop swimming, so you go down a bit. And then you see a wave coming. Oh God! Here comes a wave here, but you can see what actually is coming when you're on your back. It's
you can see what you're going into, though,
and it's very relaxing.
Talking about waves and whatever, just the other day, maybe about Sunday, maybe Thursday, or Friday, maybe Thursday, down at Langdon, there was the slightest of swells, hardly anything. But there was somebody out of the point. I'm not sure what they were on, but I noticed somebody had caught a ripple. It wasn't even, it was about a foot maybe. And they were working their way across the bay. I thought, bloody hell, it's lucky there. I thought, oh, maybe it's a stand-up with a paddle. No, and he was really shooting across this almost non-existent ripple. And he made it right across the width of the bay. And then I realized it was on the fin. You know that one that...
the hydrofoil thing.
Hydrofoil, yeah, good, yeah.
So how does that work? Would he have just been picking up momentum and the resistance was so small because the only bit that's under the water, or is it actually semi-powered?
No, it's not powered at all. The hydrofoil is like, it's like a wing. And the moment you get a bit of momentum, it feels it straight away and it lifts. It automatically lifts like an airplane, you know, but it needs less speed to lift. So really, you can really, if you paddle fast, it'll lift out and it catches waves.
Yeah, because it was perpetuated.
So much easier, so they say, but I don't believe that. I never tried one. So but
the one funny thing was he was having a wonderful, and then he must have picked up something which had a bit of a curl to it, and he did a cutback to sort of, or drop back, and he did a quite a severe cutback, and I realized then at that point he'd flipped the underwater keel out.
Yeah.
So he just lost it then.
Yeah,
and he flew off the top of it, you know.
Yeah, that's a mega sport in a way. They do downwind foiling. They go from the top of the North Shore all the way down, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah. You just go right outside where the ocean it's not even swells, it's ocean movement. and you just follow the movement of the waves, and it just goes on its own, you know.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw it, I thought it was trick photography, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you see some bloke and he'd shooting across the water, but the board would be like a foot
Above the water, yeah.
above the surface of the water, and you thought, how the hell is that happening? Like, you know, and I thought there's got to be a trick photography, and then I think I did a bit of research then, and you could see you buy a foil board. I think the boards are only like sort of a proper foil board. I think it's only about 6 foot, 6'6".
Not even that.
And then it's just got well, they call it the mast, don't they? So the top of the mast fixes into the underneath of the board, I think just behind midway, and then that comes down, and then there's a blade that fits across it, sort of 90 degrees to it. And I mean, they're not cheap to buy. You know, that setup is like £1,000 on top of the price of the board.
About what size was that fin that's under the water be when you described it then?
2.5 foot.
Yeah, about 2 foot, 2'6", something like
more
that.
than that. More than that, about 2.5 foot, 3 foot, maybe.
What, width-wise or length?
No, length. But there's all sorts. You know, you can get the wave ones. You know, I know a little bit about it because I watch a lot of Kyle Lenny, who's an expert at all water sports, you know. And he's got all sorts of foils for different situations, you know, choppy water, clean water, big waves, little waves. And he rides jaws on it, you know. Massive 25, 30 foot waves, and he's on his foil.
Yeah.
And it looks so graceful and it looks so much fun. I'd love to have a go.
I think that Matt Barker-Smith, I think he does it. So in Langland. So was he bald, the guy that was in the water, or did he have a hood on? Sam?
Oh, I couldn't see. He was a fair way out. I was on the shoreline, and he was a fair way out. I mean, he must have had a wetsuit on, but I didn't notice you know, whether he had hair or whatever.
I know one of the better ones. It's probably more than just him now, but in the early stages, it was only him.
Right. Because I saw the same. Well, I saw somebody. Perhaps it was him. Maybe about 2 years ago, down Southend.
Southend, yeah, I saw that, Sam.
I've seen one. That guy.
There was two of them. Two guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and no wave necessary.
No, you just up it like a skateboard, you know, except the emotion is forward and up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, that's great.
And the more you pump, the higher it gets and the faster it goes. You know? And then if you're lucky, you can catch a bit of a ripple on the surface, and it'll follow the ripple. You know, you just follow it.
Yeah,
it's amazing how it picks up the energy out of the wave, isn't it?
Yeah,
amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing when we have freak conditions. It almost looks like waves coming in across Swansea Bay, just when there's a strong kind of offshore, and you've got these lines and lines and lines. They're only maybe about 9 inches, but they look like sort of perfectly formed waves just coming in, you know.
Well, there's waves in Swansea Bay. I've searched Swansea Bay, haven't we?
Last week,
Hey, Con, Con, have you had bad weather up there yesterday and today where you are?
Yeah.
We've had like 50-mile-an-hour winds for 2 days.
A little empty raffle, mon cher.
Yeah, well, I know it's gone waves up in the harbour. Bloody hell.
Yeah. No, we've had a bit of wind. Yeah. When was it? Friday. Friday we had a bit of a blow. We got some good waves hitting the jetty in Odian. But the surf has been absolutely crap because the wind's been the wrong way and the swell's been too northwest. And I went out this morning, and I thought, it's going to be looking at the wind, and it seemed to be offshore from here, I didn't check the webcam before, but I went out, and I went, oh, bloody hell, it's gone southeasterly. It's supposed to be westerly going northwesterly, but it's southeasterly. So it's like Langland on a southeasterly, you know, wind coming straight into it. And of course, there's no waves then. And the swell was too big, but in the wrong direction, sort of thing. It's sort of going past where it was supposed to go in. You know, if it was a bit more on the west, it would have got in there.
It's strange you were saying about waves where, you know, we're talking about waves in Swansea Bay. There was a post came up recently within the last 2 weeks, and somebody had just put some pictures up, a trip they'd made to San Sebastian. So it was a couple of, you know, pictures of this, that, and the other. And one of the pictures were about 3 or 4 people walking down the street in the middle of town with wetsuits on, carrying boards. And I made a comment. I said, I'm not sure if that one was, but I said, when I went through San Sebastian in '67, the very first trip we did, you know, Pixie and Mike, Rod Stairs and Dale and Ship from Porthcawl, our first port of call was we caught the ferry to Bilbao, and then we drove back up over the border, Iran, into Spain. We were heading for Biarritz. So we stopped in San Sebastian, and the guys must have looked in the river, and there was like a swell, like a bore coming up, and it came up the river right in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
So about 3 of the guys went in and surfed it. And so I mentioned this to whoever it was which took the photograph, and they said, oh, that's more likely what these people were doing, because we're more likely picking up the storm that's just come your way. So maybe it had knocked up the same kind of swell up the river. Because
that's been going off this week, so San Sebastian will be okay as well.
Yeah, because
I surfed the river in San Sebastian. Thought, oh, bloody hell, it stunk.
Because we stopped
in Aberafan, you know.
Oh yeah.
But and got a load of sharks in there as well coming around, because there's a lot of meat factories and stuff chucking their shit into the water.
Oh yeah.
I didn't stay in the water long there, but it was fun, you know, going up the river in the middle of town. Lovely. Hello. Bonjour.
I mean, it was early days for surfing, but I remember that the police came and got us to stop and move on because the bridge over the river had stopped. Everybody was on the bridge, clocking us out. The traffic was wedged, jammed, the city was gridlocked. So the police came along, and they were going to sort of arrest us, you know, or go now, you know.
Yeah.
So we went, you know.
Yeah. Well,
You didn't mess with them, did you?
No. Because I mean, police then were not like we knew; they had guns.
Yeah. And they usually had mustaches, and they looked like Mexican bandits. Especially the border guys, man. Jesus.
In the 60s, they had rifles, didn't they?
Yeah, that's it.
Not pistols. They carried a rifle.
Yeah, over the shoulder.
Yeah, the submachine gun, didn't they? You know, that was because of ETA, wasn't it? You know, masks. You know, they didn't know if they were going to be hit one day or another. There was all sorts of stuff going on.
The jumping masks.
I remember one time I was in Biarritz in Anglet, and Anglet is very Basque, you know. So I'm down the shop, and there's one guy, I won't say his name, but anyway, I went up to him in the car, and he's got these huge bundles he's putting in the car, and he says, go away. You don't want to see this. I said, what's the matter? And he's loading up guns in his car to take down to Spain. And I said, you haven't seen this. If you tell anybody about this, you're dead, you know? So, no, I haven't seen anything. Nice one. And he's a good friend as well, but he was a Basque separatist, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim's got such a really good friend who lives just outside of Biarritz in a little village called Iran, I think. No, it's inland, you know, and it's very much the sort of Basque sort of country there, you know, on the because there's a bit like it's a bit like over the other side of the Pyrenees where you've got the Catalans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Either one or the other.
Okay, bloody hell.
How are we doing, guys? All right.
Just in time. We've got 7 minutes left, but we'll come in to you.
I'll do it for the second sesh.
Who says that in 7 seconds?
Come in for a bit of overtime.
Yeah. I noticed the terminology which has crept in. You know, phrases tend to creep into all sorts of ways of speaking. And just the last couple of weeks, I've noticed the phrase coming in of, putting in a bit of a shift there. You know, coming up in playing rugby, or, you know, sort of not necessarily a shift, which we would associate with, you know, work, 9 to 5 shift.
Yeah.
You know, it's a new phrase for making an effort, putting in a bit of a shift. It was in the rugby games over the weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a cat about to. Are you coming in on this Zoom, Zante, or what? He
Aye.
normally likes to tread on the keys.
Oh,
So I might disappear any moment. All right, Sant? He's just here. He's settled down now, just to the side.
There you go.
Where are you?
He's vanished.
Hang about. He should be. Where's he?
Oh, he just got a girl.
Yeah, there he is.
Black cat, man. Hiya, cat.
Oh.
Pussy.
Yeah, he soft paws me when he wants something to eat, and then when he gets annoyed, I get the claw as well. You know? And then he gets a thump on the head.
He's a real cat.
He's looking at the screen. He's totally focused on the screen, looking at all these pictures. That's new, isn't it, Sant?
Just frighten any cat.
Hi, cat. Hi, cat. Follow my hand. Follow my hand. Follow my hand. Cat says, rock, rock, rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been busy, Kipper, have you?
Oh, I'm always bloody busy, mate.
Did you know it's Sunday?
I know. Things to do. I always end up doing stuff for people.
Fucking hell, man. I mean, oops, bloody hell, man. I swore this morning.
Gosh and golly.
Golly gosh, jeeks, cripes, jolly gapes. No, you gotta start taking it more easy, man.
Don't tell me about it. Everybody's telling me about it.
You're starting to leak out then, Kip.
Yeah, I'm in the process now. We're redoing the bathroom suite. It's all good fun and games, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And I won't be using flexi pipes, Biscuit.
No.
Get some good sturdy, good sturdy stuff in there. No, you're going to use brass, are you?
Brass and solder, boys.
Yeah,
I got a group on WhatsApp with people I used to work with, and one of the girls asked this morning, could anybody recommend somebody to do some internal work, because her sister was buying a house and needed a lot of work doing to it, and mainly new kitchen and new bathroom suite, right? And I thought to myself, if to get anybody tidy today, if you spoke to somebody tidy to do any work for you today, you'd be lucky to see them in 12 months' time.
You would. That's the truth of it. I can't get contractors for loads of jobs I've got going out. Big schemes, anything between 50,000 and maybe 200,000, and they're all too busy. And they say, well, we might be able to look at it at the end of the year, but definitely look at it next year.
Yeah.
Clients want it done now.
Yeah.
But if she wanted her internal things looking at, I mean, she must have done quickly, didn't she?
Yeah.
Biscuit, you used a term then, quite old school. I was glad to hear it. When people talk about having, alterations done in their house, the term they use is, we're having a new kitchen. And I immediately go, what, didn't you have one to start with? Didn't you have a small room at the rear of the premises? That's the kitchen. You've already got a kitchen.
Yeah.
You mean you're having new kitchen units? So when you said a new kitchen suite, a new bathroom suite, that's the term. But having a new bathroom and having a new kitchen, what's wrong with the other one?
Yeah. But I always used to laugh at, remember the video of the woman in Cromwell Street when it was haunted?
No, the poltergeist.
Yeah, the poltergeist in Cromwell Street. And when they interviewed the woman, and she said, and it was out the back kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
So did you have one in the front as well? Then?
Yeah.
Why was it the back kitchen? You know?
It was called
Yeah,
that.
that's the terminology, isn't it?
Yeah. So
In
you
the-
go one. So if you had a kitchen, Sam, what was the difference between a kitchen and a scullery?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think the scullery would have been
Halfway.
what a kitchen was called sort of in old times, you know? The scullery was the kitchen, same thing.
No, it's where he did the washing and he kept all the food cold, and you have a cold slab and
Oh, you used to call it a pantry,
stuff.
sort of a pantry type thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause I remember my grandmother always said, it's in the scullery, and I thought, where the hell's, when I was a small kid, where's the flipping scullery then? But I always
Invented a
remember.
new room. No, I think in some of the houses, the scullery thing would have been the equivalent to today's utility room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where if you've got the space, you have your washing machine, your freezer, all that stuff.
They
You could
call
have
it.
you could have an outdoor scullery.
Yeah.
They call them.
Used to have a metal, like what we have now is a fridge.
That's
You have
right.
a metal box with
Yeah.
a real fine mesh grill,
Yeah.
and that's where they used to keep the meat and everything.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
It kept the germs out.
Outdoor scullery, yeah.
Because the pantries, even in the house I'm in now, I can remember when they only built in the sort of early 1950s. Between what is like now I call the kitchen and the dinette was a little cupboard about 2 foot wide, but the main shelf was just solid concrete,
That's right, cold shelf.
like a slab, you know.
That's where your meat went.
Yeah,
They call them mudrooms in Canada.
yeah,
Mudroom or wet room.
yeah.
Mhm.
I thought of something there. It's flown by and no hell. But you find that with us lot, that your
It's called
train
a-
of thought. You think of
It's
something.
called a senior
and then you
moment,
wait-
Sam.
Yeah.
It's called a senior moment, Sam.
Yeah, senior moment.